Hey y'all, it's Sharon and I'm back to share another experience with you guys. If you're new to the channel, I'm a retired officer. I served 20 years for a southeastern city in the US, and I was also in the military. Um, if you're new, hit subscribe, like, share, and I'd also appreciate your comments just to know what you're thinking or if this helped you, the experience that I'm about to share with you. The last couple of videos was about how I whistleblowing some officers and how I ended up where I'm at today, actually. I want to share with you a perspective. New officers, right? I was a new officer and I noticed something as a new officer, but I didn't say anything at the time. And as my career progressed, I noticed a pattern. And what I mean by new officers, when I was a new officer, I noticed that new officers got a lot of details. And it was one of the first details I was assigned, a homeless detail. And we had to basically knock on tents and makeshift places and ask the homeless to leave the park. Actually, not ask, tell them to leave, otherwise they were going to be arrested. And I noticed as I looked around, I'm like, it's just a bunch of new officers, okay, you know. But as I got older, or it progressed in my career, if you will, as a veteran, I walked with other veteran officers, and I noticed that their interaction with the homeless was different to what I experienced as a new officer. The veterans would just tell the homeless people, move on. Some of them even give them money, go on, get out of here. You got to go. And I was like, okay, the crime is the same if they are panhandling. I forgot what it was at the time. You couldn't be 15 feet from a business or something like that. Or there's no camping in the park. I'm like, okay, so there is an offense. So why is this veteran officer just telling them to go on and even giving them $5 to just go? And I realized that the veteran officer saw past the offense. And me as a new officer, I saw the offense and that was it. And we're all taught that in the academy, how to recognize crime and the elements of a crime and things like that. So I was a little confused, but okay. Sharing an offense. When I put on the Army uniform, I remember, it might have been 3 or 4 years, the first sergeant called me into his office and he said to me, Sarge, I'm going to make you platoon sergeant. Now, mind you, I was just an E5. Platoon sergeant is an E7 position. He said, I'm going to make you platoon sergeant. And as soon as I got ready to say, but, he said, I'm not asking you. I said, okay, Top. He said, go handle it. So my first day on, I'm standing in front of the platoon where we're standing there, and the captain comes up to me and he's talking to me, and I'm watching his lips move, but I can hear some individuals in the platoon saying things like, who does she think she is? And ain't no E5 gonna tell me what to do, and just a bunch of stuff. And then I focused back on what the captain was saying, and he said, Sarge, okay, tell me what's going on. Basically, he was asking me to back brief, explain to him what he just explained to me, so we both are on the same page. And luckily, I winged it and I was right. But I can hear, you know, what they were saying. And I was like, I was sitting there thinking to myself, they're offended and we've worked together, you know. They know who I am, a lot of them. We had a couple of E6s, and I can understand maybe they felt like they should have gotten the position or whatever, but the offense was still there, right? So what was interesting was when I put on the police uniform, oh man, so many people were offended and made it and was vocal about it. Like if I walked the beat, walked downtown, or if I was on my second job, there were a couple of people that were vocal about it. People you encounter, they call you Uncle Tom, even though that's a twisted version, you know, Uncle Tom, or N-word this, or whatever. And I'm like, you don't even know me. And I used to take it personal, but then I realized it's the uniform. They're angry at the uniform, and the offense is the uniform for some. But it made me question, how am I offended? And can I see past the offense to who the person is or what the person is. And I'll give you an example. When I was policing, I had a call at a housing complex, and the kids were alone, and we were trying to get the kid, I think she might have been 6, trying to get her to open the door. She would not open the door for like 45 minutes. We finally got her to open the door, and we walked in. It was extremely hot. There was no food in the fridge. I checked the fridge, and it was like spoiled milk or something. And we went upstairs, and the 6-year-old was watching a 4-year-old and a 6-month-old. And the baby was sick, you can tell. I smelled the baby's milk in the bottle. It was spoiled. And mind you, we had been outside for 45 minutes trying to get the child to open the door. And the whole time I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm upset. Who could do this? Why would the mother just leave these kids here like this? And mom and dad came home actually. And I wanted to bite into them. And mom said she went to get the medication for the baby, and dad took her to get it. And I was like, that doesn't even make sense. Why didn't you just tell him to get it? And she gave the excuse that he's always getting things wrong, And I was so angry. And I took the dad outside, and I said, because he was trying to insinuate that he's trying to take care of his kids and all that stuff. When I took him outside, I saw these TVs in his headrest. And I said to him, TV's in the headrest, but when I went upstairs, they don't even have a dresser to put their clothes in. And he looked, and he kind of held his head down, and I felt like, yeah, think about that, But I was offended, so I was speaking to the offense that I saw. I was offended. Okay, fast forward, it's a couple of months later, I'm at a traffic stop, and this car pulls up in front of my car while I'm doing a traffic stop. I didn't know who it was, and I'm like, what in the world, what are they doing? And it's the same guy, the father, and I walk up to my car, and he's like, I'm not trying to start anything, but I just wanted to tell you, I appreciate what you said. He said, I don't have the TV rest in my headrest for my car anymore, and my kids have dressers and hangers and things like that. And he said, I just want to thank you. And I was like, you know what, I appreciate it, but I probably could have said something, did it a little differently. And he was like, no, I thank you. And he walked off. But it made me feel like, man, okay, that's good that he did that with his kids, and he did that for his kids. But the way I said it and the way in which I came across, it wasn't right. And so the thing I'm trying to share with you, sometimes you have to see past the offense to see the person. A lot of times as new officers, and I was one of them, I'm guilty of it. We can't see past the offense, right? Because we're taught to recognize crime and the elements of a crime, and then you write the ticket. But then they talked about this thing called discretion. We're gonna save that for another video. I wanted to share with you, out of uniform, there are offenses that we carry, because I carried them. And I try hard daily. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I try hard daily not to let the offense stop me and see past it. See the person through the eyes of grace. See the person through the eyes of love. And then once I get past the offense and then try to, so to speak, look around it, you'll see that everybody has their issues, has their problems. And when I put on the uniform and people get offended, that's what I remember. They don't know me. Whatever the experience concerning the uniform is their experience. And so I just want to share that with you. If you have the time, comment. I want to know what you think. And also, take a look at our online store. The link is in the description. And always remember, you don't necessarily have to go through a thing to learn from it. Talk to you later. Bye.